So in stoichiometry problems, we want to determine the mass of substances, pretty much, and we use the equations to correlate the quantities that are needed. We have to keep in mind that in stoichiometry, we still follow the law of conservation of mass. So given the mass of one of these compounds or both compounds, the mass produced is never going to exceed the mass of the reactants. Okay, so let's look at this problem. So how many grams of hydrogen are necessary to react completely with 50 grams of nitrogen in the above equation? So we want to find how many grams of hydrogen are needed to react completely. So we want to spend all those 50 grams of nitrogen in the above equation. So the first thing is we're going to write what we're given. Given 50 grams nitrogen, and we want to find hydrogen. So find mass hydrogen. This is what I want to find. So I'm given 50 grams of nitrogen. I want to find the mass of hydrogen. So the second step would be to find the ratio. So I can look at the equation here, and like I explained, when there are no coefficients, you assume that there's a 1 in front of it. So I can see that the ratio of nitrogen to hydrogen is 1 to 3. So for every mole of nitrogen, I will have to have 3 moles of hydrogen. Or you can also see in molecules, 1 molecule of nitrogen will need 3 molecules of hydrogen, but because we're talking about stoichiometry, we see this quantities as moles. So again, every mole of nitrogen will need 3 moles of hydrogen for this reaction to happen. So my ratio is 1 mole of nitrogen will need 3 moles of H2. So now I can set up my calculations, and before I do anything, I have to find the molar mass of the compounds or elements in this case. So in this case, nitrogen, I know it's 14, but in here I have to multiply 2 times 14, that's equal to 28 grams per mole. And for hydrogen, that's easy, that's equal to 1, and I have 2 hydrogen, 2 times 1, that's equal to 2. So this is H2, and this will be N2. All right, so now I can set up my equation. So we start with 50 grams. First step, when you convert grams to moles, and then use the molar. The idea is to convert the mass to the mass of the compound, 2 moles, and then use the mole ratio to convert it to the moles of the other substance, and then convert the moles of the other substance to mass. So we start with 50 grams of N2. We're going to multiply. We're going to divide by the molar mass, which is 28 grams per mole per 1 mole of N2. Now this cancels out, this cancels out. So now the units that I have are moles of nitrogen. So now I have to use the ratio of moles. So 1 mole of nitrogen will react with 3 moles of H2. That's from the equation. So, and now this cancels out, this cancels out. So I have the units are moles of hydrogen. Now I have to convert the moles of hydrogen to mass of hydrogen. So I will do that by multiplying this by so 1 mole of hydrogen, 2 grams of hydrogen. Okay, so now I have to solve this. So I will have to use a calculator. Oh no, well, not really, because this is 14. Yeah, I will need to use a calculator. Yeah, let me get a. I don't have a calculator. Do I? No, I forgot. I will have to do this. Let me put this in the calculator. So if you put all this in the calculator, so pretty much what you have to divide is 50 times 3 times 2 divided by 28. That will give me the grams of H2. So if you put this in the calculator, that would be the answer for this problem. Any questions? Feel free to ask, but this is the procedure. So again, your first step is always to convert the mass of the compound into moles, and then use the molar ratio from the equation that you're given to convert the moles of one substance to the other substance, and then you convert the moles of the substance that you want to find to mass by multiplying by the molar mass of the substance. Hope that this helps out. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or feel free to ask.